Have you ever noticed that the moment someone doesn't like you, that your inner nice girl dials up the volume and intensity, and it's like you go into people pleasing on steroids mode? If so, this video is for you. So today I want to dive into a topic that I think many of my people pleasers can relate to. It's this pattern of dialing up the niceness, the pep, the charm, the fawning behavior when you're dealing with a confrontation or conflict or dealing with some uncomfortable situation or when someone just straight up doesn't like you. Hello, you marvelous being. Yes, you. It's lovely to have you here. I'm Cynthia, a somatic therapist and coach, and I help people pleasing and high achieving women to stop living for others and to start living the best, juiciest life on their own terms. So I just want to take a quick moment to let you know that in my last video, the number one sign that you're a people pleaser, I had mentioned that that would be the first video in a series that I would be doing where I would be talking about different signs of being a people pleaser. And unfortunately, that first video didn't get a lot of interest, so I'm going to be putting a kibosh on that series because it just doesn't make sense for me to be putting time and energy into a series of videos that people aren't going to be watching. So just wanted to give you a heads up about that. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. So this experience of killing others with kindness is an experience that I know well as a recovering people pleaser. So several years ago, I went on this yoga retreat, and during this 1 week yoga retreat, I had some interactions with this woman that we'll call Isabel. And for whatever reason, she just didn't take to me. You know how that happens is sometimes you meet someone and right away you either like them or you don't like them. And in this situation, she just didn't take to me. I experienced her as rude, dismissive, and if you weren't part of her little clique, then you were excluded. It kind of had a high school cliquey vibe to it. I remember the feeling so well. I felt anxious, on edge, unsettled, just from this one person not liking me. I felt that old familiar feeling from childhood that something was wrong and somehow I was to blame and I needed to fix it. I used to be a die-hard people pleaser. It was something that I learned from childhood for survival. So that urge to be liked and accepted by others, that sense of belonging, are so familiar to me. And so I understand how painful it can be to not feel that acceptance and sense of belonging with others. So when all that went down on the retreat, my inner nice girl was willing to do whatever it took to earn Isabel's approval. So I found myself being extra nice and sweet to her, being a really good listener, being extra empathetic, and I would pay her compliments that I didn't mean. I thought that if I could just kill her with kindness, that somehow she would like me. I cringe when I think back on that experience. It's embarrassing for me to remember and to talk about. The truth is that my behavior was probably off-putting to her. For someone that she didn't like to be acting extra nice to her, it probably came across as needy. I'm curious how this dynamic of killing others with kindness might be showing up in your life. Do you find yourself doing this with your partner or with coworkers or a family member? If this is resonating with you, like and subscribe and share this with a friend, a loved one, or someone who could benefit. So how do we stop this people-pleasing madness? So I want to share with you what I've learned and what I also teach my clients. It's a simple 3-step process. So the first step is just catching it when it happens, to start recognizing the pattern and being aware of it. So the second step is to interrupt the pattern and to take a step back and to stop yourself from doing what you would usually do. And the third step is to try a new response. And I'm going to share with you some really specific ideas of new ways that you can show up. So in these situations, it's really important to bring your focus back to yourself. So let's do that together right now. So placing both feet flat on the ground, and you can tap your feet against the ground a few times to really feel that connection. You can place a hand over your heart and just taking a few grounding breaths. Bringing your attention and your focus back to yourself. And next, you're going to ask yourself, do I even like this person? Are they someone that I would want to be friends with under different circumstances? Are they someone that I enjoy interacting with? You might be surprised to find that actually taking the time to check in with yourself and to see what you think about this person, how you feel about this person, you might realize that you don't even actually like this person. They wouldn't be someone who you would choose to be friends with. And the only reason why you're trying so darn hard to get this person to like you is because your nervous system is activated and feels unsafe, and it thinks that the way to safety is to get this person to like and accept you. Which goes back to tribal times when our survival depended on the acceptance and belonging with our tribe. So often as people pleasers, we can get so focused on others and what do they think and what do they want. And so the medicine in this situation is to bring the attention and focus back to yourself and what you want and what you think. So some other ways that you can handle this kind of situation. If you don't need to interact with the particular person, then you could take some space, take distance from that person. If it's someone that you do need to speak to or interact with, try to use a neutral tone rather than being overly nice. And lastly, you might find that with this person, rather than being overly nice to them, you might find that what you actually need to do is to speak up for yourself and set a boundary with them, particularly if they're being rude or disrespectful. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to try out this 3-step process. The next time you find yourself in a situation where your tendency is to want to kill others with kindness. And if you're needing more support around any of this, you can book a one-on-one session with me. Details are in the description box. I've enjoyed spending time with you today. I'm signing off for now. Until next time.